Hello, welcome back to another Hospice Talk with RC Hospice and Healthcare. I'm Tom Rupp, one of the chaplains here, and today is our social worker emphasis. We have two of our social workers with us today. First,
Asia Michael.
And second,
Lilith Gregorian.
Real quick, how long have you been with us, Lilith?
10 years.
Since the beginning,
Yes,
since the
start of
and
it.
about the same for you, huh?
Yeah, about 8 years.
Yeah. I've been, by the way, 10 years with RC, so you're seeing some of the originals here. Anyway, we're talking about social work. And of course, I don't know about you, but that invites, in my mind, lots of questions. And so, first of all, we're going to ask, what do you see as, or how does a social worker help a hospice or palliative patient? Either one of you can start off with an answer. What are some of the things you do that provide help for our patients?
Yeah, so Lilith and I are master's level social workers. So we both have a degree in social work. And we work as part of the team with the nurse, the hospice aide, the chaplain, and the physician. We do a lot of assessments, checking in with families to see what their needs might be, whether that's caregiving responsibilities, maybe resources they might need, either financial or legal. We help with advanced directives and just kind of overseeing the team and making sure that things are running smoothly and that the patient and family are having all of their needs met.
How's your angle, Lilith, on this?
And just to add on, we're kind of the advocate for our patient and family. You know, a lot of families, there's a lot of, things that they're going through. And as a social worker, we're here to support them, to guide them. We work with a lot of veterans where we help with doing paperwork for, VA benefits, aid and attendance. We work with Del Oro where we're able to get grants for some of our caregivers that need that respite. So we work to provide that support where it eases the stress on the family and provides support for our patient as well as our families.
One of the things as I'm listening, but I kind of know the answer already, but still it brings it back to my mind, is paperwork. Lots of paperwork. I can't do it. The nurse doesn't do it, not this kind. The others, the health aides don't do it, but you do a lot of that paperwork. And it's necessary, isn't it?
Yes.
If it's not done, then we can't continue our care, I imagine. Lots of that. So, this is just the beginning, and in just a couple of minutes, our two social workers started, and it's not even an exhaustive list of some of the things they do. Now, is there a certain part of your duties that is especially favorite for you, that you especially, I'm not going to ask the ones you don't look forward to. I'm sure there's some that are, we have to do it, but boy, it's a chore. But the ones that you say, yes, I will gladly fulfill this duty. Is there any one that maybe comes to mind for either or both of you?
It's not a duty, but I think one of my favorite parts of the job is hearing people's stories.
Yes.
So a lot of times our patients aren't able to share their own story, but when you're able to ask the families, what were they like when they were younger? What were they passionate about? Or what was their marriage like? We have people that have been married for 70 years sometimes. And just seeing the family light up, or the patient light up, when they're sharing some of their history is really special. And I'd say we both learned so much about just gratitude for life and
Absolutely.
family and all of those things by getting to experience that.
And as the old TV show says, and you were there. How about you, Lilith?
To add on, with our scope of job, there's been situations where there's families that are far away. The patient is living here locally, and all their family is out of state, Oregon or whatnot. And there's been situations where I think one of the examples would be like where we were able to provide a Thanksgiving dinner for a family, do something that brings joy. I remember with this patient, I asked him, is there something I could do? He said, I'm alone for Thanksgiving and I would want to have a Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know how that feels. And we were able to organize that and bring a Thanksgiving dinner and have Thanksgiving dinner. That's just such a inner joy, inner gratitude within myself to be able to help families and be there emotionally for these families.
Very good. You know, I'm sitting here listening to our social workers, and the beginning of this talk, it could have gotten mired into paperwork and a lot of boredom or dullness, but you notice that both of you bring a heart into this thing. It's not just the paperwork. It has to be done, but it's not just the paperwork. It's the heart that these ladies possess to bring to you, if you're a patient or a family member of a patient, quality care, and to show this concern, not just in getting the right things done, but in also providing the care from the heart. Which leads me to one other thing I'd like to ask you guys. And I'm sure this is probably several videos in itself, but maybe one that you could think of. Was there a certain favorite experience you may have had, or a memorable experience that you may have had that you'd like to briefly share, that where you were in your wheelhouse and this is what you're supposed to do? Is there one that either one of you'd like to share? We can pause a minute. We're pausing, so that's okay.
Do you want to share the one that you had with? Sure. That's a nice one, right?
Right, just whenever.
Yeah, recently we had a patient that was imminently passing, had not been responsive for a few days, and her daughter was out of town and not able to get there. Her son was also out of town. It just happened to be that way, and so we called the daughter, and we were able to put the phone up to the patient's ear so she could hear her daughter, and I was asking some questions, and she said, she had this song that she just loved, and she used to dance with my dad to it, who had previously passed. And so we got off the phone, and I was telling her, it's okay, I know that you're ready to go see your husband, and I turned the song on, and she immediately reached out and grabbed my phone, out of my, it was just an immediate response to that song. And it was really incredible for me to see, and then to be able to call her daughter and tell her,
yes.
I talked about her dancing with your dad, and I played the song, and she responded. And she didn't end up passing the following day after, so that was really, just really, emotional to see and to know.
Touching story, and this is what it's about. Excellent story, Asia. How about you, Loet? Tell us one of yours.
One of the ones it's more just fulfilling, and it makes you happy to be able to help families. I had a situation where I had a Vietnam veteran that was on service with us, and the daughter was the primary caregiver for this patient. And it was very overwhelming for her. She was stressed out. She had no support system other than herself. And as the social worker, we kind of briefly talked about paperwork, I was able to support the family by doing the VA paperwork for aid in attendance. I contacted Delaware. We were able to get some grants so she could get some respite where she's able to step out for a couple of hours and care for herself, where a caregiver was able to come out. And it was just such a fulfilling thing to see that she had that type of support. And those are some of the things that we do as social workers to support our patients and our families.
Very good. Well, we here at RC Hospice and Healthcare, we have to operate as a team with the physicians, the nurses, the chaplains, also the social workers and the health aides. And each of these has their special and really irreplaceable tasks. And as I sit here and listen to our two social workers here, I realize they're doing what none of the other team can do. And for that we say thank you and look forward to future stories. Again, thanks to Asia and Loet for spending a few moments with us. I hope you'll spend a few moments now with them as we watch this video. If you have any questions, please contact us at 916-858-1440, and we'll see you again. Thank you.